Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the New York City Council vote for the Committee on Disabilities. At this time, I'd like to remind everyone to please silence all cell phones, and at no point during the vote may you approach the dais. Chair, we are ready to begin.
Good morning and welcome, everyone. I'm Councilmember Shahana Hanif, Chair of the Committee on Disabilities. First, I'd like to acknowledge my colleagues who are present, Councilmember Nurse, Councilmember De La Rosa, Councilmember Caban on Zoom. Thank you for being here. Today, the committee is voting on resolution number 396, sponsored by the public advocate, Jumaane Williams. This resolution would declare May 15 through June 15 as Tourette Syndrome Awareness Month and June 7th as Tourette Syndrome Awareness Day in the city of New York. Tourette syndrome is a neurological disorder characterized by involuntary, repetitive movements and vocalizations known as tics, affecting an estimated 1 in 162 children in the United States. Despite its prevalence, Tourette syndrome remains widely misunderstood. Misconceptions fuel stigma and, in some instances, unlawful discrimination in employment and public life. By declaring May 15 through June 15 as Tourette Syndrome Awareness Month and June 7th as Tourette Syndrome Awareness Day, the Council affirms New York City's commitment to disability inclusion and ensures that the nearly 1 million New Yorkers living with a disability can count on their city to promote accurate information and protect their civil rights. Public Advocate, would you like to make a statement?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and thank you for the work you do in this committee. First, I do want to acknowledge Emma O'Connell and Jason Kaplan from the Tourette Syndrome Association of America. Thank you for being here. And when there's a bunch of people with Tourette's in the room, it can get interesting, so I just want to make sure folks are aware. But as was mentioned, my name is Jumaane Williams, Public Advocate for the City of New York. Again, I want to thank Chair Hanif and the members of the Committee on Disability for holding this vote. The CDC estimates that about 1.4 million people in the U.S. have Tourette syndrome or a persistent tic disorder. I am one of those people, and I'm believed to be the first in the country to be elected to public office when I was elected 16 years ago. People with Tourette syndrome experience tics, involuntary, sudden, brief, intermittent, repetitive movements or noises. It can significantly impact a person's day-to-day or even, or even minute-to-minute life, and either be temporary or something a person lives with for the rest of their life. People with Tourette syndrome also are more likely to have other comorbid disabilities such as learning disabilities, autism, and depression. I myself have also been diagnosed with ADHD. While Tourette syndrome itself can make day-to-day life difficult, so too does a lack of awareness about it. Many people have never heard of Tourette's or heard misinformation and may react negatively. Sorry, I didn't expect to be this difficult. Many people have never heard of Tourette's or have heard misinformation and may react negatively, even violently, to a person's tics. I myself lived with Tourette's for a time not knowing what it was, and in fact, first learned about Tourette's from a 2020 special, not from a doctor. Tourette's is too often viewed as a moral failing. Man. Tourette's is too often viewed as a moral failing, as if a person is refusing to stop a tic rather than being unable to, especially so when a tic is obscene language or a slur called corpulalia, something I've struggled with. Stigma and discrimination can make getting and keeping a job more difficult or lead to increased contact with the criminal legal system. Many people with Tourette's retreat from public life, isolating themselves from other people due to shame or fear, and more avoid seeking treatment. Recently at the BAFTA Awards, where John Davidson, an activist who educates people about Tourette's syndrome, shouted the N-word as two black actors were presenting awards, setting off a firestorm of media attention and outrage. Tics that include offensive language and slurs can cause real hurt and pain, even if the person saying it not only does not intend harm, but is deeply regretful and embarrassed about it. As a black man myself who actually also tics the N-word, I know no matter the reason, the word has power and does real damage, and we can't minimize it. I think we can recognize that even involuntary impact devoid of intent can't be ignored. Too often the burden of empathy is placed primarily on black community. At the same time, and to the importance of this resolution, we have to also make space for compassion and grace for the person with Tourette's and take this opportunity to educate people about the disability. What happened at BAFTA should not have happened, but it did. So let's learn from it at that moment. BAFTA had a responsibility to prepare their attendees for the possibility that they may hear this language directed at them. Now we have an opportunity to inform people more broadly. They also could have aired out certain parts of the broadcast. Education awareness have proven to be effective in combating stigma against disabilities and other disorders. Today we are hearing a resolution I introduced declaring May 15th through June 15th as Tourette Syndrome Awareness Month, and June 7th as Tourette Syndrome Awareness Day in New York City. Knowing a person with a disability reduces the stigma, underscoring the need for raising awareness, representation, and open dialogue about Tourette's and other tic disorders. I hope that young people living with tic disorders can see their own potential. I hope the young people living with the tic disorder can see their own potential in me. And I hope everyone will join me in celebrating this newly recognized month and day. I was the first elected official in the country known to have Tourette syndrome. I'm proud to say I'm no longer the only one. I want to shout out Justin Farmer in Connecticut, who ran for office because he saw me. And I want young people like me and out there to know that your condition is a part of you, but you're not defined by it. And it doesn't have to limit what you do, only changes how you do it. More broadly, recognizing Tourette Syndrome Association Month, I hope we can reach others with the message. I'd like to thank my staff, Gwen Saffron, Senior Policy and Legislative Associate, Veronica Avies, Chief Deputy Public Advocate for Policy, Rosie Mendes, Director of Policy and Legislation, Elizabeth Kennedy, Deputy Public Advocate for Education Opportunity, Lupe Hernandez, Community Organizer and the Tourette Syndrome Association of America for their work on this resolution. I'd like to also shout out a young man named Cameron Jackson, whose grandmother is in the audience, who approached me at an event. Proud to have had him tour City Hall and my office. I'm trying to lean into this even more. It's not something I ever hid, but as I'm approaching 50, realizing the impact that the coexistence of being black and of having Tourette's, how it affects a lot of folks and a lot of young people. So I'm doing my best to try to lean into it even more and embody, be who you needed when you were younger. So I appreciate you taking the time to pass this resolution. And I did not intend to get this emotional as I read this, but I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Public Advocate, for your vulnerability and for leading the way for so many of us who have disabilities and have felt discouraged to be in leadership positions, to run for office. We see you and we appreciate you. And we're so incredibly lucky to have a leader in this city who understands that disability justice has to be in the fold of everything that we do in this city. So thank you. I would like to thank my own staff and the Disabilities Committee staff, Senior Legislative Counsel Sarah Sucher, and Senior Policy Analyst Chloe Rivera. I will now turn to the clerk to call the roll.
Thank you. Good morning. William Martin, Committee Clerk, roll call vote, Committee on Disabilities on Resolution 396. Chair Hanif.
Enthusiastic aye.
Caban.
Aye.
Thank you. De La Rosa.
Aye, and thank you, Public Advocate, for leading the way, as usual.
Joseph. Nurse.
I vote aye.
With a vote of 4 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstention, resolution has been approved by the council. By the committee, excuse me.